my homie from the old school, the Marvelous One. And
What
this
else, man?
is the Gumby Show. What's
Yes,
cracking?
sir. What's up, man? What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. You know, it's kind of funny. We didn't get into this, but you know, we're really old school. Like I said, no fake takes. You know what I mean? We ain't doing no hot takes, just old school sports takes, right?
Right.
And the reason this is called the Gumby Show, we have a history, man. We was hoopers, man. We hooped together for a lot of years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We did. Started out in junior high and then to high school. Yeah, we was on the same squad for years.
Yeah, we got to get 5-6 years there. You know what I mean? So back when we were in high school, Arizona had a really good team. I think Sean Elliott was on that team. They were, Lute Olson, one of Lute Olson's better teams. I think Tom was on that team. And they had the bench was lit though. Remember that? Like the bench was lit. They was doing the Cabbage Patch for you. Matter of fact, you youngins who do your little TikToks, you might want to add the Cabbage Patch, right? They was getting it on the bench. They was like, the bench was lit, right? And we was on the fucking bench and we was on the basketball team. Like, yo, they say, you guys are like the Gumby tribe. It was like, hell yeah, we the Gumby tribe. So
that's right. That's where we took it from.
Yeah, it was me, you, David Gardner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Diamond Green. Shout out to Med who pledged Gumby. You know what I mean? Gumby-fi Gumby.
Shout out to Rob Green.
Shout out to Rob Green, man. Yeah. Shout out to the original Gumbies. And this was the Gumby sign. So when you see this, that was Gumbies. You know what I mean? So yeah. That's just a little bit of the history lesson behind why the show is called the Gumbies, man. We was lit. We was hoopers. Even if we wasn't playing.
It was fun. Hey, if we weren't playing, at least a bus ride was lit too.
Playing Mac Dre on boombox with Mac Dre, hell yeah. Today's kids can never do that. They gotta be like, yo, take my AirPods and listen to this new Mac Dre song. Like,
nah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's kind of start it out, man. Let's get right into it, man. What was the best story of the week to you, man?
Oh, it's got to be Steph Curry. Was age 33, scoring 30 points, 11 games in a row. 11 games in a row, 30 points, and the man is getting all the attention from the defense. You see double and triple teams, and he's still finding a way to not only jack up shots, but hit the shots.
You know what? Let's just take a moment and marvel at some of this beautifulness, right? Let's do that. Let's take a look and see what the greatest shooter of all time is like.
Steph for three.
Cracked the ball, figured out where it was going.
And everybody know what he want to do. Wow.
Curry catching shot, dropping in another three. You think you're close enough to
the man is shooting 51% from 3-point this month.
He makes half of them.
He's making half of his 3-point shots from 3-point. This month in April. And you see the attention that he's drawing.
Oh, this guy's no shot. Oh. And one.
People.
Steph was able to score here because of the way Wiseman battled on the other end.
People say he's just a shooter. Have never watched Steph Curry because the handles are so underrated.
Hitting it. If you're just a shooter, you can't get your own shot.
Exactly.
Steve Kerr was just a shooter. You know what I mean? There were guys who were just shooters.
It's just this Bulls team will go.
Jeff Hornacek, just a shooter.
Steph for three. Yes, sir.
Oh, who's the boy?
I don't know if you saw the stat. I don't know if you saw the stat, but he has 21 games in his career where he's made.
Look at them handles, though.
He's had 21 games in his career where he's made more than 10 3-pointers.
That's crazy.
The next person on the list is Klay Thompson with 5.
Little floater there to bank it home. He makes that look easy. Don't bail him out.
Damn. Klay Thompson has 5.
He's in second place. Check this out. This month, he's had 6 games with 10 3-pointers or more. So he has more this month than anybody else has in their career. and he's doing it at age 33. I don't think he's peaked yet. If he has, I think this is like his second peak. I think his MVP run from 15 to 16, where he won back-to-backs, was probably his first peak, and he's been one of the rare athletes that has gotten a second peak. And I'm not sure when it's going to end. I think Steph probably has at least 3 more years at the top, maybe 5 or 6 more years when he's like pretty good.
Yeah. When they said he was 33 this week, I thought to myself, like, damn, I got like a little bit sad. Like, yo, I kind of felt like this thing was going to last forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was going to Key Sweat, make it last forever. You know what I mean? But nothing lasts forever. Like, man, at 33 is like, yo. Then again, Tom Brady. Maybe Steph Curry is the Tom Brady of the NBA.
Yeah, he doesn't have to rely on athleticism. I mean, he uses his handle to get a shot. He doesn't use his athleticism to get a shot. He uses his handle.
Right.
He uses his balance, and he's still going to be able to get his shot. And shooters, one thing they don't do is stop learning how to shoot. So as long as he can use his handles to get his shot, he's going to have a pretty long peak.
He can do this for a long time. So maybe I'm premature and it's starting to look like this is going to fade, because for all we know, he's got another decade. You know, when we were young, we didn't have all the advances in like personal training and physical fitness and knowing the proper way to take care of your body.
Right.
We didn't have like special chefs and dietitians and resistance bands and all these things that these guys have now. Look at a guy like LeBron James. He's gone for 17 years without a major injury.
Right.
So you can take care of your body, and maybe we get more of this. But best thing I saw this week by far, Steph Curry, an amazing streak.
Yeah, he came back down to earth against Washington a little bit. But even with that game where he only scored 18 points, he's still averaging 40 for the month. Averaging.
It's
So, I mean, him coming back down to earth is better than, 95% of the NBA right now.
Absolutely. It ain't like 18 at scrub points either. That's actually a decent night.
Yeah.
For most NBA players, it was a really good night.
Exactly. So let's see if it continues. If the Warriors were, say, 5th or 4th in the Western Conference, he would have serious consideration for the MVP.
I was going to use the words out of my mouth. I think he is MVP. I think if the Warriors make the playoffs, he's MVP.
I think he should be, but I don't think they'll give it to him based on record, because winning does count. I'm not sure. I think in recent memory, Russell Westbrook was a lowest seed. His team was the lowest seed for him to win the MVP. So, if they could make a run to where they're maybe like 6th or 5th, I think you got to give it to him.
You got to. He's that good. He's that raw.
Right.
Now, moving on to the worst thing I saw this week, and you're not a fight fan, so I just have to take this one to the face. But Jake Paul, the YouTube, I want to say sensation tool, challenged a UFC fighter, former UFC fighter, and an Olympian, a Division I champion wrestler by the name of Ben Askren. Ben Askren is a really annoying personality on Twitter. He's got like a weird little Jufro going on. And I thought, okay, well, if he's a real fighter fighting against a YouTube star, he's going to win this fight. Even if he's not a striker, I know he's fought. At least we're striking as part of the game.
Right.
Then came the weigh-ins. And when Buddy took his shirt off, it was clear he hadn't been working out. I was like, oh, what in the hell is this?
Wow.
So on the way, first of all, Snoop Dogg is on the cast, and he was great. He's fucking smoking weed, and he's just saying all types of weird shit. Jake Paul comes out to the fight to music, and he's got a giant robot behind him, like raising the roof. Pete Davidson goes in the back to interview him and ask him, hey, man, how you doing about those sexual assault charges on you?
Wow.
And he's like, bro, you can't talk about this.
Wow.
It was total fucking insanity. It was like a circus. It was like a 3-ring circus, bro. It was so bad that you just kept wanting to, like, out of morbid curiosity, see like what was going on. So, and then the fight happened.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He knocks him out in the first round. Jake Paul knocks the wrestler out in the first round. It's like, oh no, he's gonna keep talking, and we're gonna have to watch this again.
So let me get your opinion on this. Is Triller here to stay? Is it just going to be like a sideshow? Like, you know, there was a couple years ago, I don't know if it still is or not, but like a celebrity boxing sort of. It was like a thing, you know, and it was almost like it wasn't like a network, but it was like a thing that stayed around for a while. So is Triller going to be like that? Is it going to be serious, or is it going to be more like a sideshow sort of deal?
I think it's going to actually become serious. I think it's going to become serious because they've got a lot of money behind it. I don't think that the celebrity death match or boxing, whatever, I don't think they really had like real money behind it.
Right.
They had like bullshit money behind it, right? So I think Triller, they generated $50 million on his last broadcast.
Wow.
50 million. And I think that because Jake Paul won, they're going to be able to find a bigger target. And everybody hates Jake Paul. Everybody wants to see him lose. So when you sell the next fight, they won't have any trouble selling the next fight. They'll have no trouble with it.
Wow.
And they'll just find a celebrity who's willing to go out there and risk it all and maybe get a fighter who used to be in the UFC or something. And yeah, so I think Triller should have stayed.
Interesting. So let's talk about the NFL draft coming up. Now, a couple weeks ago, 49ers made a big move, traded up in the draft to get a quarterback. Now, it's a foregone conclusion, Trevor Lawrence is going number 1.
Yeah.
But the thing that's weird is a few years ago when Trevor Lawrence was coming out of high school, he was consensus number 1 quarterback rated. The guy that was consensus number 2 was Justin Fields. But 3 years later, for some reason, Justin Fields, you know, even though they started off last year as, again, being number 1 and 2 as far as quarterback prospects, they ended the year being 1 and 2 as far as quarterback prospects. Trevor Lawrence is still number 1, but come to find out, it looks like the Jets are going with the kid from BYU. What's his name? Zach Martin, I believe. And looks like the 49ers.
Zach Wilson. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. It looks like the 49ers are set to either take it looks like they're settling on Trey Lance or the guy from Alabama. I can't think of his name right now. But
Mac Jones. Mac Jones is out of Alabama.
Yeah, so it's either Mac Jones or Trey Lance, excuse me. And for some reason, Justin Fields has fallen in the draft. Like, there are rumors that, you know, some people have him as being like the 5th quarterback taken up in this draft. You know, maybe dropping to 10 or 15. And what I'm not getting is why. I don't get it. Do you? Do you have an answer to that?
Of course. Okay. I mean, elephant in the room. He's a black quarterback. He's a black quarterback.
I didn't want to say that. I mean, because I mean, I didn't want to be the only one that thought that. Let me put it that way. Because for years now, you've seen black quarterbacks get picked apart when it comes to draft time. It's all about things that they can't do. It's all about things that you don't think they'll fit into your system. Things of that nature. It's never that with a white quarterback.
No.
You know, I think you know,
Never.
Trevor Lawrence is a little bit more polished than Justin Fields, but there's not anything that Justin Fields can't do that Trevor Lawrence can.
Well, let's think about something. If you and people who really know football will talk to you, they'll holler you, and they'll lace your tennis shoes for you sometimes.
Yeah,
I remember the draft that Deshaun Watson was in. I don't remember who won, but I know it was. Isn't that that was the draft where the Bears traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky, if I'm not mistaken.
that is the draft they traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah. So there was Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and the Bears said, no. Let me trade up and get Mitchell Trubisky. Let me give up like hella shit to get Mitchell Trubisky. You cannot convince me that racial bias did not play a part in your quarterback assessment. Now, Dabo Swinney, good old boy Dabo Swinney, was like, yo, Deshaun Watson is Michael Jordan. There are 9 teams that just fucked up, basically. You know, and they're like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just, yeah. So clearly, I mean, like you said, consensus number 2 quarterback coming out. And if you watch the kid is special. He's a real quarterback.
He beat Clemson last year the guy was hurt. I think he got hurt at halftime during that game and still came out and balled. And I mean, like, he was the reason they beat Clemson. Him and go ahead.
He's a leader of men, though. You know what I mean? A quarterback, it's not always about arm talent. It's really not always about arm talent. Arm talent helps. It doesn't hurt. It's not always about athleticism. Athleticism helps. It doesn't hurt. But to me, I judge quarterbacks on, does the team believe in the quarterback? Because if the team believes in the quarterback, you can win just about any game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do they believe in you? Can you convert on third downs? Can you avoid taking negative plays? You know what I mean? And can you also extend plays? So I start to look at these things. The quarterback is probably the hardest thing to judge in terms of drafting in any sport anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, it's like baseball. Most of the time, you're gonna fail.
You're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna get it wrong, right? It's just a really tough position to really predict what's going to happen, which is why we see so many guys bust. But just Justin Fields, I fuck with Matt Miller. When it comes time to like get into the draft, I think he's the best guy in the business.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what he says about Justin Fields. He's got him as the number 2 quarterback. His comp is Dak Prescott. He fits the Jaguars, the Washington football team, and the Detroit Lions. Those are his fits. Best traits: athleticism, underneath accuracy, toughness, and field vision. All right, which tells me that he can extend plays. He's got accuracy underneath, and toughness means he's going to stand in the pocket and allow the plays to extend. So I'm kind of looking for somebody, and also field vision. I'm kind of looking for somebody who can do these things, especially if I got like a West Coast offense type of thing going on. Biggest questions, he says: accuracy outside the hashes and arm strength. Okay, these are concerns. Scout pick. I'm not sold on the scheme making him NFL ready, but everything you hear from coaches at Ohio State is that he's really smart and well prepared. I love his athleticism, but his arm is just okay. Scheme is going to matter a lot for him. I hope wherever he goes, they build around him with running catch receivers and a good run game. This is from an NFL quarterbacks coach.
So this is my thing with Justin Fields and those of his like. NFL execs and owners will talk themselves into a white quarterback, like your Mitchell Trubisky, and will talk themselves out of a black quarterback. Even though Deshaun Watson was the best quarterback in the draft that we knew of. Nobody knew Patrick Mahomes was going to be Patrick Mahomes like he is. But in college, Deshaun Watson was truly above anybody else. But somehow he was the 3rd quarterback taken in that draft. It's a ongoing thing. It'll probably keep going on. Execs will talk themselves out of a black quarterback, will talk themselves into a white one. And it sucks. And I don't know how many people are going to get burned before that changes.
So here's the question I have, though. Do you think it is? Well, it's clearly happening. There's no doubt about it that this is a real thing. But the question I have is this: is it just a thing where people are comfortable with something? Like, I have, my landscapers. They happen to be Hispanic. Mm-hmm. If I was looking, okay, maybe I've got a little bit of this little inherent bias, right? If I was going to get a lawyer and if I was being sued because our podcast gets really big and somebody said, I'm suing, and I got to look for a lawyer and I'm looking through the list of lawyers and somebody's name ends in STEIN, or ERG, mm-hmm. or BERG,
right?
I might be inclined to be like, let me call that guy. You know what I mean? Is it a thing where you're just kind of comfortable with certain people in certain roles? Now, if I'm looking for some security, awesome.
Yeah.
Find some beef and find some of that, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think a lot of people do that. And I don't know that we just don't have inherent biases. Yeah, I think there's just, is it, I don't want to say it's racism, but I think maybe it's inherent bias.
No, I wouldn't say that is racism. I think that you're right. It's more about what people are comfortable with. I think, and I think it's not necessarily racism. It's more stereotypes.
Yeah.
There is a line there between racism and stereotypes. And I think when people think of the black quarterback, they're thinking of someone who needs a particular system to succeed. And their success is going to be based on their athleticism. And that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it is, but not necessarily the case. So I think it's more, I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say more buying into stereotypes than it is actual racism.
Yeah. You know what I hate? I hate player comps when they compare players. They always compare them to like another black quarterback.
Right. It's the same in the NBA.
White quarterbacks compared to white guys, and black quarterbacks.
It's the same in the NBA. You can't say Luka Doncic reminds you of Jason Kidd. No, you got to say he reminds you of Larry Bird, even though he's more Jason Kidd than Larry Bird as far as his ability. But you can't do that. I hate that, but
they always do it. It's like lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking lazy.
It's funny. It's funny. But you know what? I hope Justin Fields proves a lot of people wrong. I don't know the kid. I don't have any rooting interest for him. But I just find it weird that he's potentially dropping behind all these quarterbacks that doesn't look like they have the ability that he does.
It's a problem. It's definitely problematic that we have to even deal with this. But yeah, it's definitely something that's out there. But But whoever makes that mistake, their franchise suffers, because in the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a team unless you have an absolute monstrous defense. You can have like a stupid ass defense and a running back that can tote the ball and a dude that can manage the game and get by. But 9 times out of 10 or 29 times out of 30, if you ain't got a quarterback, you ain't got shit. So the teams that don't get it right, they suffer.
You know what? The thing that is really going to bug me if this happens, I have a feeling that if Justin Fields falls in that 7 to 10 range, Bill Belichick is going to trade up to get him. That's my fear. That's my fear. He's going to trade up to get him. They're probably they can have a quarterback on the roster in Cam Newton that, was Justin Fields' 7 years ago.
I'm being honest with you. If the Patriots do that, bro, I'm buying a Justin Fields jersey. I'm turning in my Raiders fan card. And I'm joining the fucking evil empire. I'm trading on y'all. Trading out. They done moved
you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. Silver Black is in
They're
your
not
play.
in the Bay Area no more. I'm sick of Derek Carr. I don't know if John Gruden is crazy or a genius. Have you ever seen somebody who oscillates between genius and crazy more than John Gruden? Maybe Kanye West. But outside
John Gruden would do it in the same game. In the same game. It was like, oh my gosh, that was a brilliant play card. And then you're like, what the fuck is he doing? 2 plays later. Yeah, it's crazy.
Fuck, man. Don't let us get a Raiders podcast.
Let's keep off that for now. You know, we'll talk about more.
Not now. I'm just saying, man. Once the season starts, we have to do that.
Yeah, just a vent. Because
it's like therapy. It'll be called therapy, Raiders therapy. We all did it. We're all traumatized, man. We all got PTSD. All right, man. Well, you know what? We having a good time, but it's time for me to go in on somebody. I gotta go in, man. I gotta go in on somebody.
Hey, do what you do, man.
And once again, y'all know I'm a fight dude, man. I fuck with the fights. And right about here, we gotta go in on none other than the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And he used to be the golden boy. We're just gonna call him the white boy. And that's not because he's Caucasian. That's because he's putting a lot of white stuff up his nose, allegedly.
Oh.
A lot of
riding the white horse? Is he riding the white horse?
Wanna ride? Go ride the white horse. Well, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say allegedly, but let's watch a clip and see what it sounds like to you.
For July 3rd, how's it going down no matter who you pick? What's the prediction?
I don't care who it is. I will fight till the end. I will bleed till the end. And I will go down till the end.
All right, let's look at the table.
What?
Just alcohol, or were there drugs involved as well?
There were drugs.
What kind of
My
drugs?
drug of choice was cocaine, alcohol.
You looked great. You feel great. You were amazing. And guess what? Now it's my turn. Tiny ring.
USSR, baby. USSR. Oscar's definitely high, I can tell you that.
Oscar's definitely high, they just said?
Yeah, I think that's what he just said. Oh, no. Oscar back on the booger sugar?
Cunningham's physique.
Listen to this.
Look at, he looks like a Adonis.
The Donis.
He looks beautiful. He looks in shape.
Yeah,
Look at the way he's making a miss.
Now, I know you're straight, but how
The Donis.
feeling high for the
He
first
looks
time?
beautiful.
Adonis. I've heard of Adonis, but I don't know what Adonis is.
Oh, I need some Rick Jack. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
He was a part of the Navy for 4 years, so he's not
that
the
was a
USSR.
nice- I was dependent on
Man,
those.
look at his face now in this picture.
He's my friend Derek. He's bringing
And now he's all
the
bloated
game
and
to
fucked
the
up.
table, baby. He's bringing it all to the table. He's fighting
So, anyway.
USSA, baby. Against USSA, Frank Mir is doing incredible.
Okay.
Wow,
Listen. Oscar De La Hoya is clearly on one here. And this goes on. He does this for 2 hours. He does this for a full 2 hours. He's on the booger sugar, the sugar booger, whatever. However you say that. He's on it. He's on the white horse. And I gotta go in on you, Oscar. What happened to you? You used to be sharp, bro. You used to be sharp, but yeah, I gotta go in on you, Oscar De La Hoya.
Wow. Yeah, I can see. I mean, it's definitely something in his system that will have him calling a grown man beautiful Adonis. You know,
The Donis.
Adonis, yeah. I don't, I always like when someone looks like that and sounds like that, I always wish them the best. But yeah, if you're gonna get on somebody, you gotta get on somebody who's gonna go on air and not make sense like that. So hopefully he hears himself. Hopefully someone plays that for him, and he says, "Man, I need to get some help." That's what I'm hoping for.
Pardon me for being a skeptic. You ain't getting no help, Marv.
Yeah.
You ain't looking for no help, Marv. You got too much money. You're like, fuck it. Like they said Elvis died on his fucking golden toilet. Bloated and no, he's done.
Man.
We ain't got no real people around him. If you had real people around him, this wouldn't have happened. Nah,
This is true. This is true. That's very true. So hey, that's a good candidate to go in on.
all right, man. So how about you, man? Who you going in on this week, Pippin?
This week I'm going in on Shannon Sharpe. Now, I'm not a fan. I'm going in on Shannon Sharpe. I'm going in on Yeah. So I'm not a fan of Fox Sports commentators. I'm not. To me, they're hot take nation. They're just saying anything and everything just to ruffle feathers and get a reaction. But I never thought of Shannon Sharpe being that way. I thought Shannon Sharpe, I respect him. He's pretty real.
Yeah.
Reason I'm going in on him is because he went in on KD for this quote. The quote is, "People try to discredit my rings, but honestly, I feel like they're the most valuable of our era. People argue LeBron James is a GOAT, but if I beat him in back-to-back finals, then what does that make me?" That was what Shannon Sharpe went on KD for saying. And the only problem is KD never said it. It is an unverified quote. And Shannon Sharpe proceeded. Now, to be fair, Skip Bayless did too. They both dragged his name through the mud. But I expect that from Skip Bayless. I don't expect Shannon Sharpe to go on air with an unverified quote and go hard on somebody if he doesn't know that the person actually said it, especially a black man actually said it. Now, they had a little war on Twitter where KD was like, "Hey, when did I ever say this?" And Shannon Sharpe was coming back at him about quotes that KD said in the past about not wanting to join the super team and then going to join the Warriors, sort of deflecting. And KD was like, "For real, when did I say this?" Shannon Sharpe was like, "We could talk about it in private." And then he proceeded to block Kevin Durant. Now, we all know KD is petty.
He's petty.
He is very petty. He's very petty. And a lot of times I don't have his back on things when he goes after somebody on Twitter. But in this case, if you're going to drag my name through the mud on air, on live TV, nationwide, I'm going to need you to have that same energy and clear my name when I didn't say the quote.
Hey, do you want to read his actual response? You want to take that? You want to read that?
Yeah.
Or would you like me to read it? Okay, you got it? Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You got it? No, I got it. Okay. Now, this is the spiciest player in the league last week. But here he goes. "Y'all drunk uncle out here lying again. When did I say this? At Shannon Sharpe? Question mark. And we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 20 question marks there. It's like 20 question marks.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I expect this from a lot of the Fox commentators because that's what they do. They go on the air, try to ruffle some feathers. But Shannon Sharpe, I think you're better than this. You can't go on air on nationwide TV with an unverified quote and drag somebody's name through the mud. And if you do, you got to be out here with that same energy, clearing his name with the same much as you did dragging it through the mail. Shannon Sharpe.
But let me shoot Unc some bail real quick though.
Okay.
So somebody posts and says, "Do y'all remember that fake Twitter account that was putting out fake quotes? This was one of the fake quotes from that account." Shannon Sharpe, bro, you got to do your research. And Shannon Sharpe fires back with, "Y'all remember that fake account when KD said, 'Now everybody want to play for the Heat and the Lakers. Let's go back to being competitive and getting at these peoples.' Then joins the 73-9 Warriors and builds the Nets into a superpower with Kyrie and Harden. Oh my God."
Yeah. I mean, he has a legit point, but it is deflecting. It has nothing to do with this point. It's deflecting. And he has a legitimate point when it comes to that. But when it comes to going on air on his little show with Skip Bayless with fake quotes, come on, man. Shannon Sharpe, I think you're better than this. I really do think I would like to think that you're better than dragging someone's name through the mud on a fake quote.
Well, let's see what KD says. "Oh, Shannon refuses to respond to me. Yo, Shannon, why are you using your platform to push fake quotes about me?" Shannon says, "KD, if you want to talk to me, I'm not hard to find. I'm not going to go back and forth on social media. Whatever our differences are, they can be handled outside the eye of social media."
That's pretty good, but you got to talk like you have food in your mouth. Shannon Sharpe always sounds like he's chewing on something. "You know, KD, if you want to talk to me, I'm not hard to find, but I'm not gonna go back and forth social media."
Wait. If you got a better Shannon Sharpe impersonation than me, you should have read that shit from the beginning.
Yeah, you know what? I really don't, but I just sound like I just pretend like I had food in my mouth, and you sound like Shannon Sharpe. I still like him. This is the only guy I like on Fox Sports. But again, you want to handle it outside of social media, but when you said it, that was on national TV.
Oh, there it goes. There, he blocked him. That's not solid, Unc.
Yeah.
Unc.
See.
How many niggas in the world actually got KD blocked?
Hey, KD's a source of entertainment. I might not agree with, I don't agree with everything he says, but he is a source of entertainment. So on this one, I gotta have his back. I mean,
anybody gets trolled by KD is happy to be trolled by him. Not this nigga's like, "Oh, I'm blocking." All right, Shannon. All right, you deserve. I'm glad Marv went in on you. But hey, man, this was a lot of fun. You know, we in and we out like some thieves in the night, man. This was the Gumby Show. I am BONZ, the Smack God, and the dude with me is the dude I respect. I respect his sports brain more than 99.9% of y'all on this planet, man. My man, the marvelous one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, let's do this again sometime soon. Got some more stuff to talk about in the upcoming weeks. Hey, we got a lot of stuff. We got the NBA playoffs coming up pretty soon. Got the NFL draft. We got a lot of things going on. So, yeah, let's get together real soon.
That's good, man. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Salute. Yeah, Gumby Tribe, the Gumby Show, out, episode 2, in the books. You have a good one, man. Thanks for tuning in.